Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm GhostPrime, and I'll take a look at MPG 03 Yukikaze. He is the latest release in the MPG line, and he transforms, of course, into a train. He's very similar to Shoki, and he's actually the brother of Shoki. This character first appeared in Transformers Headmasters in the very first episode, and he did appear throughout the series as well. One thing about the official Takara Tomy versions of these guys is they are quite small. They actually scale with the other robots in the line, but definitely not as a train. This begins up being a rather small train. And I do want to preface this whole video by saying the Takara Tomy Raiden bots are modeled to be trains first and robots later. They partnered with the train companies, and they're very accurate scale trains. So they're scaled to their counterparts, their electric counterparts in the toy form, which is really cool when you think about it, because it's very big in Japan, train collecting. And it used to be big here. I have a bunch of old model trains myself, and I rather like them. This guy came out this year, and the next one, I forget his name, comes out in October, and then there's probably the last two next year, so pacing them out is kind of easier for me. Anyway, enough with my rambling. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment what you think of him, what you think of the other ones. And without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, we'll start off the review here with a look at the packaging, and it is definitely something that we have come to expect from Takara Tomy. It is just a gorgeous looking package with the gloss and the matte finish there. You got the foil right there, and we see Trainbot Yukikaze, MPG 03 Cybertron Heavy Snow Fighter. And then on the side here, we have a picture in his bot mode, and then a picture in the train mode with the name and the logos. And on the back, we have different ways you could display it. What he's a leg, what he is on Raiden, all the different things that come in the package. And there he is with his brethren, and in a couple different poses. On the top, we have the giant Transformers MPG logo, and on the bottom is just legalese and a whole bunch of other things. I think I'm not exactly sure what's on the bottom because I can't read it. Anyway, if we want to open this thing up, which I have already done, we are greeted with a bag with some booklets in it. This is kind of cool. Transformers MPG book. I guess now that we got 3 of them out. Let's see. It looks like it goes over a bunch of information about this. I would love to actually see what this is all about. There's the original right there. Maybe if it was to be translated, it'd be kind of cool. There he is, how the Raiden's going to look when he's all finished. Definitely odd proportioned. The ones we have yet to come. There's a completed version with just no paint. And then there's CAD. There's the one that's coming out next, I think, is the arm, right? This one, the green one, it's coming out next. On the back, see what else they offer in the Masterpiece line and the Studio Series line. It's interesting they throw the Studio Series on there. And then Takara Tomy Hobby Channel, web pages, and Masterpiece. We also have a collector card. Has a bio, has his stats on the back, and a set of instructions, which again depicts things from the cartoon. It's an odd pose. It's the first time I'm seeing this too. Flying train mode, rolling train mode, all the different instructions you could, put this thing together. There's also a video. I mean, this thing opens up and there's just a ton. There's also a video online that you could look at of this transformation that Takara Tomy does. The music's sort of annoying, but it's a good video instead of using these instructions, which are getting kind of worse and worse in my opinion. Okay, and moving on to the package. So this is how he comes in the box. You get his gun, the rails. You have this little piece here for the stand, the head, the train. Now let's kind of look at this one by one here. So here is Raiden's head. This thing is gorgeous. This is the reason Takara Tomy wins over Moon Studios, at least in some categories. I like the head sculpt. This is an absolutely gorgeous head sculpt. You have translucent plastic and the little circles on the side of the head. The head is actually articulated, and it has light piping. Let's see if I could get my without knocking everything over on my shelves. Yeah, I don't think I could get that in there very well. Yeah, I can't get that. But he has really great light piping. What it even looks like on the back looks like there's a, if I get it in focus. I don't know if that's a mirror or something. Maybe it goes straight through because it's up here. I don't know, but there's something going on inside there. These lights, these eyes light up brightly. But it's pretty cool. It's nice painted really well. This is not painted. This is plastic. But the head itself is really well done. Then we have the track, which is the same basic track that we got with the first one. Right here, you have the painted rails here, and they do stick together like so. You have his gun, which has to be just frictioned in there and pushed up to the bottom. There you have his gun. The detailing on his gun there. And of course, the train bot himself. Now let's take a quick look at this real close up. Just to look at this detail. I don't know what that is right there. Like some over paint or something. I'll have to get that off. That looks like it'll come off. There's got some really good detail right down to like the little windshield wipers, the doors, all the way down. The back, the top. Now on mine, I don't know if you noticed, this has a little less paint on it than this, so it doesn't exactly have the same finish, and I wish it did. I think that's kind of a fault. This is, I think all the green is painted. The windows here, instead of the translucent plastic, these panels being translucent plastic, these are actually, the windows are translucent plastic and these are opaque plastic. So that's a good thing. And maybe they learned and changed that later, because the first one was all translucent plastic, which was just a brittle mess. Let's see if we can focus. You can see the cow catcher or the snow plow or whatever it is on there. There's the bottom. And on the bottom, we do have a place right here for the stand. And then here you put the gun in. So you get the gun here like this. It actually could just peg in like so under there. And we put it on the track. So it looks cool there. If you want to display them like that. I don't have a stand. There's one that comes with Jetfire. There's one that comes with the Seekers, the newer Seekers, MP52, which will put it up like that. I won't be displaying them like that anyway, so I just wish it came with its own, just like the other ones. Now, the head can actually be stored in the train, so you're going to want to first off take the little fins and move them back to the wings and move them like this. Take the head crest, pull that out, turn that upside down, push that back in like this, and then you can open up the back end. So what we're going to want to do is take these two little pieces here, move them up, this, past each other, like that. And then take these, just kind of unpeg it gently, because it's pegged into the sides too. Kind of pull it up this way and up. Let's tie it real tight. There we go. And don't open them too far. You'll see the wheels in there. Now it goes in. There's this little like clip right there. that's supposed to clip right here. And it kind of will. I hold it together and stick this in there. This is kind of hard to do. So let's see, if there's this little tab right there. There's a tab right here. This tab actually tabs into there, and this tab on here tabs up into a slot up there. If I could do it on camera easily, because this gave me a lot of trouble when I was doing it earlier. Tab them together, either side. There we go. And then go ahead and move these back in place. You'll never know that the head is back there. So I think that's really cool. And for a quick comparison, here he is with the previous two. And then as you can see, this one being a foot and this one being the torso, these two are about equal length. And these are much different in size. They definitely have to do a little bit of transforming magic to make them the same size for the legs. But one thing you can do is they have these little connectors. And this one actually only has one on both sides. So you can just kind of friction them in like that together. And then this one would go on the back. But you have it like this. All right, and let's get into transformation now to the robot mode. And it's just a big shell former, essentially. He just kind of lays down. All these panels just kind of go around him. Most of it comprising of the legs, which isn't surprising looking at the pictures. But first, let's take this piece here. Move that piece up, the piece down. Take these two little pieces on the back. Kind of move them like that. Go ahead and do that for either side. And just start opening up panels. He is easiest to kind of do this one here first because that is where there's a joint. Open those up like that. Separate the panels in the back, the legs like so. And we take these panels, separate them from the front, open those up. Oh, so tight. There we go. That is one thing that all these little pieces do fit tight. So don't force it, but they have a little bit of leeway, especially since all these little windows are just laid in bits of translucent plastic instead of the whole piece being plastic. They learned something. I'm wondering if they actually had this slated for all translucent plastic and then decided last minute to make it less brittle. So I'm glad they did that. I'm going to take this little piece right here and move that in. Just kind of getting all that stuff ready. And then with the legs, go ahead and open the legs. The legs, there's a lot going on here. So you want to take the foot. There's the ankle right here, basically. Take this piece, which all it does is fold back up, but it kind of hits itself. So you on the back, so you kind of gotta finagle it around, and kind of like it's supposed to be like this. There we go. So that goes back, and then we could take on both sides this piece right here. Oh, actually, let's do this first. Go ahead and all that disconnected. This is a scary joint right here, and you're gonna want to just kind of. There we go. Lift that up. It's a terrifying joint. But scoot that out. That gets all that out of the way. Go ahead and move that back around the leg to on the back right there. And there's a little groove there. All right, so put that down like that and push that in. So that makes it flush. Do that for both sides. Then you want to take this whole piece. See, lift this up. This piece here comes around like this. this piece comes down and sits like that. And then we have this flap on the top. Go ahead and just open that up so you don't forget about that later. Take this piece all the way down and around. Oh, I did forget to move this up. So go ahead and move that up. And then this will collapse in. And there is, actually, let's do it this way first. So this will eventually collapse in. Let's do it this way first. So this piece here on the outside, peg and a slot. You get those pegged in together. Now, take this piece here, move that straight, put this panel around, and then move this around and tab that in together like so. So you have like this box, basically. Legs are done. Take this whole piece up here. Actually, let's move the arms out of the way first. Move the arms out of the way. They are on, to show you in this way, the hinges like this. Turn that around. Take the piece back. Then you want to take, you can see it, take this piece right here, move that around. It's on a hinge. And then move it like this. And then turn the whole section around like so. Take these two little pieces here, push them up. These are thrusters for it becomes a jetpack. Go ahead and move that down, and that just sits on the back. So you got the arms down. This chest piece goes like this. This comes down like this. And then Autobot logo. That's like that. And what this will do is there's little tabs. It doesn't really lock it in place, but that's just make sure those are tabbed in. So we have something that looks like this, and we're almost done. Like I said, it's pretty simple. Take the hip skirts, move them down. Make sure these legs are pulled out like that. That is so he could fit his legs together. Take the arm panels. They're on a hinge here. Move them back around and then tab them down so they stay down like that. Then where's the, you want to open up right here the arm. If I can get that open. Move the fist out. Third fist. Same side. Same thing on the other side. Move them all around, and there he is in robot mode. So let's get these back. These legs always come apart. It is most irritating. But once you get them together, and he's standing, he looks decent besides these giant boots that he has. Let's get up real close and look at some of the detail. All right, let's start the detail on that face. The face sculpt is where it's at. This thing has a beautiful face sculpt and a wonderful visor. Come on, stay in focus. He has blue painted eyes under the visor. Very well done. These bits of silver showing up there, the gunmetal, the silver on the face. I'm going to move down to his chest again, which has some inlaid clear translucent plastic there. Silver paint. I mean, the detail on him is impeccable. That's one thing that's really good. The detail is amazing. All the way on that, all the way around. He has some just fantastic detailing on him. Really well done as far as that's concerned. Articulation-wise, head, move up and down. Can't really do 360 because it hits the shoulder pieces, but can turn. No sideways, no confused look. He doesn't have 360 at the waist. He only has here and this way, and no ab crunch at all. His arms can go out this far. He has a bicep swivel. He has the full range on the elbow. He has swivel at the wrist. And he has just a single hinge for the fingers. Legs go out this far, the little flap there. Can't go back at all. He has knee, it's 90. He has 360 at the thigh, and he has the ankle rocker right there. That's really a little toe, I guess. A little toe action. But this This comes untabbed constantly. And oh, that annoys the ever-living hell out of me when I'm trying to pose him in something. It's just irritating. Oh, one more thing. He can't go out about that far to the side. So you get some good posing out of him. You really do. All right, now we're going to move on to comparisons. So, firstly, let's show him against his cartoon version. So you can see there's a lot like the cartoon version, but it's not super accurate to the cartoon. Like the Moon Studios, it's much more accurate, but the Moon Studio doesn't have as much detail in the chest, and the face just isn't as good. But this guy kind of a mix between his cartoon version and his toy version. His toy version shares a lot with, and like I said before, these things are trains that transform into robots, not the other way around. These are really trains first. So here he is with his previous other two, Getsui and Shuki, that have been released so far. So they're all about the same height. They are, again, quite small for being a combiner, especially compared to something like the Moon Studios. But they do follow the scale chart. So there he is with Masterpiece Hound, so you get an idea about just the size class that all these guys are. So as for weapon storage, you can, of course, have him hold his weapon in his hand via the same style masterpiece peg. Take it to hand and grasp it around. Like so. And then take the head and transform this back into this collapsed form. And the head can actually store under here. And see, there's two, where are they at? Two tabs that go into here. So this goes like that, tabs in like that. See if we get that to fit. Put that back down, collapse it, and then it just sort of hangs out on the back. So it has that orange sticking out the back. But at least there's a place to store the head when it's not just, just not floating around in the drawer or whatnot. And I guess just also on these pegs, just notice that there's a little bit of paint wear from pegging in and out since they've fallen out so much. They are on the bottom and they peg into the wheels as well. So keep that in mind. You're not gonna be able to see it, but that's annoying unless it comes apart like that, like it does on mine. So anyway, let's get on to some final thoughts on this guy. So to conclude this video, it has all the hallmarks of a Takara masterpiece. It has great sculpt work, lots of nice little detail. I like the engineering detail, or the detail on the engine, I should say. Edges in the chest. Some of the little details are nice. As a whole, though, Moon Studios kills it with the robot mode. Totally kills it with the robot mode. I'm hoping that Raiden comes together well. It's going to be sort of a different one, not cartoon accurate. It's going to have like real world parts on it, which is of interest to me. And I do wish it was a little bigger. Good points are he's well articulated. I mean, he has some really good posability. He doesn't have an ab crunch, but other than that, I think it does a pretty good in the posability department. Anyway, I'll be back really soon with the next review, and I'll see you then.